how's it going, everyone? This is Amanda 133, and today I'm making a review about it. More of a review. Yeah, it's a review. Okay. So to answer the question, is it good? It is good. It is good. Now here's the why. Well, let's start with the trailer, right? When I first saw that trailer, I didn't like it. If you're not going to see a movie based off of the trailer, I understand you, but it's not the theme of the movie. That the trailer is so jumpy, and of course they put the more, I guess, jumpy scenes in it. But that's not the theme of the movie. The movie doesn't use as much jumpers as it uses horror, in my opinion. So the trailer can give you, and it gave me a false idea, a false image of the movie. Now, I had my reservations. I wasn't really sure until I saw when it came out that I started seeing reviews on YouTube that everyone was praising it. So the movie itself, actually from the first scene, because the first scene of this movie is gonna be the first scene of the original miniseries. And right from the first scene, you can tell the difference of these two movies. This movie is pretty crude, and I love that. They're not gonna shy away from dismemberments, blood, sexual tones, child cursing. I loved it. I loved it all. I really praise when a movie is what it's intended to be, right? There's nothing more disgusting than a movie trying to be hardcore or trying to be ballsy and cool, and then it shies away in order to appeal to a greater audience or in order to not piss off certain people. I mean, fuck that, right? If you're trying to be friendly, just be friendly from the patch. Don't, or even build your story around that. But if you're trying to be ballsy or you're trying to be hardcore, just go for it. Just absolutely go for it. And this movie went balls deep in that. I really love that. I was actually telling my boyfriend, I hope that they put that scene that comes in the book, that part that comes in the book that it doesn't in the original, and they did. It works pretty cool, and that's in the first scene of the movie, and it really tells you the tone of the movie, which is gonna be pretty crude, pretty gory, pretty gory. There's a lot of psychological horror going on. But this is the cool thing. The psychological horror is not meant for you. It's meant for the characters in the movie. So in a way, they're not trying to scare you, per se. They're trying to scare that clown. Pennywise is trying to scare the children. And, well, that's gonna scare you, right? Because he goes balls deep. He puts some fucked up things to those kids. The child acting was really good. I really like that. This kid from Stranger Things appears there. I was surprised. He's actually pretty funny. I noticed that they give him more time on camera. He made it more dialogue, even though he's not the, I guess, main character. Whatever. But yeah, I guess because he's already famous, but it works really well. He's pretty funny. He's pretty funny. And they're kids just being kids, you know. They're not trying to make you like the kids. Some of them are gonna act some very douchey sometimes. That's pretty nice. I like that. And there's some scenes, for example, when they're supposed to be scared, right? When they're supposed to be horrified by these fucked up things that the clown is making them see, and they really look terrified. I praise that. The child acting was on point. Now the clown itself. Oh my fucking god, that was a pretty awesome clown. I think this story, what it needed was cool CGI. Is the CGI amazing? Yeah. There's some things that I noticed and they look pretty fake, but whatever. But definitely this movie needed good CGI. It's a very different experience, and it's a very different interpretation of the clown when it has very good CGI, because you get to do a lot more things, right? So the clown takes many forms, as we already know. He appears in many ways, and he's very fucked up. Like, oh my god, it's so fucked up. So yeah, kudos to the clown. I think he did, as an actor, he did an amazing job. I read that behind the scenes that they had some extra child extras, and they were practicing for a scene, and they didn't know that the clown appeared in the scene. So he appears out of nowhere to them, and they cry. That was so cute. They cry, and the actor said that to him that was a praise because it meant that he was doing his job right, and he did it pretty well. There were some preteens in front of me, and I'm pretty sure they got like fucking traumatized. I saw their horror faces. I was traumatized. Fuck it. They changed something from the original series. That the original series goes back and forward between the children, and the adults when they grow up. And this movie doesn't do that. It's just gonna focus on the children. I think that's better because it gives you the time to spend and bond with the characters as children, not as adults. Because everything they face, or as they face Pennywise, they face it as children. They take children decisions, some pretty stupid decisions, right? They're scared. They can tell their parents, etc., etc. And I think that was a better way to tell the story. It's just a different way to tell the story. I liked it better. Because in the original, it was hard to put up with who was who, as adult and children, to connect them. But now I'm assuming there's gonna be a second one for sure. I mean, they're doing a lot of money in the box office, and they did a pretty well job in this one. But I'm assuming on the next one, it's just gonna be the adults. I like that better. So there you go. I think this is a pretty ballsy movie. Oh yeah, a couple more things. This movie has a very sexual tone. Yeah, I'm just gonna say that it has a pretty sexual tone. There's some pretty like fucked up things. Like they make me uncomfortable. You know, there was I guess because they're children, but that's pretty ballsy. Now I read recently that in Mexico and Latin America, they want to cut off the movie and make it their version of PG-13, which is 15 and over, to appeal to a wider audience. But they will have to cut off a lot of the things because it's pretty gory, it's pretty bloody. Like I said, it has a very sexual tone sometimes, and they're kids, right? I think that makes everything more fucked up. I think that's the worst decision anyone can make. That's so stupid because, again, like I said at the beginning, this movie is trying to be ballsy and doesn't shy away from being ballsy. It doesn't shy away from being crude, from being sexual when it wants to be sexual, from being horrific when it's trying to be horrific, from being fucked up when it's trying to be fucked up, and from being cute when it's trying to be cute. There's some scenes where the kids really bond with each other. There's some scenes where they're gonna fight between each other, they're gonna argue between each other, they're gonna say some fucked up things to each other, and that makes it more believable. And if you cut off a lot of those things to make it more appealable for the parents, right? Because it's when you're 15, your parents are taking you to the movies, or they're giving you money to go to the movies. So they're trying to appeal to the parents of the children. I think that's a gross idea. Fuck that. This story in this movie is meant to be for adults. Because even the children in the movie and in the original story, they don't fully understand what's going on. They don't fully understand the decisions they're making, especially that scene from the book where, you know what I mean, like where they're all like, anyway, especially that, right? And it's just one example how they're not fully understanding that they're transitioning into adulthood, but they're doing it too early or too wrong, per se. So I think it's a gross idea. They decide to censorship the movie. I think they could have done something more stupid. But as for the monies, anyway, I'll give this movie a 9. Pretty well deserved. I really enjoy it. And final thought: if you're gonna be scared in this movie, and my boyfriend he was shitting his pants, or you're gonna be pretty entertained. The friend next to me, he wasn't scared, but it's still pretty entertaining. So check it out, guys. Check it out. Pretty awesome movie. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. And like always, like and subscribe.